Awesome. Well, I gotta say, thanks a lot for joining us on a real quick notice. This is so cool. I mean, obviously not cool that you were threatened and stuff, but just glad to have you with
Anyone's
us and
very excited
everything.
that you were robbed over for Bitcoin.
Well, yeah.
It's
So,
become the late. Go ahead.
But
well, I was just gonna say thanks for being here, and I'll just let you go if you want to share the story real quick and tell us what went down.
Um, it's kind of become the lay of the land out here that you have to be really careful. Um, it started last summer, middle of the summer. So they abducted one of the guys that I sell coins with, and they kept him. And he sent the coin. They made him send the coins out, uh, about $10,000, and that just became like a common thing out here. I jumped in the back of the car. People, I don't know, somebody that I regularly deal with called, said my brother wants 2,000 coin. So I jump in the back seat. We kind of fucking, excuse my mouth, we should have known
that's
better,
funny.
all of us, but you don't see it coming. You know what I mean? I grew up in a different environment. I just didn't see it coming. So jump in the back, so the kid turns around, he's got a revolver, um, go for the doors, the child safety locks are on. Um, so they ride me around here for a couple of hours, and
They
for
kept you in
whatever
the car
reason,
for a couple hours?
yeah, they kept me in the car for a couple of hours. Uh, and then we come back after all that time back to the house, and they make my kid bring down electronics, whatever it was, a laptop and some other stuff, and they take that. Then they shot us up the road, and finally they booted me out. But it wasn't that easy for everybody. There's a firefighter in Williamsburg, so they same thing. They kidnapped him, um, except he must have thought that he must have reacted differently than I did, or it was different kids that did it. But they beat his ass, they stabbed him, and they pushed him out of a
Oh,
moving car. He wound up in a hospital for 2, 3 weeks after the incident. He was in the hospital, and he doesn't sell coins anymore.
no.
I mean, I'm sure he kept a
Oh
few on
man.
the side, but yes, like some of the guys that it happened to didn't make it back. There was a string of this going on here. Uh,
Dang.
Just
there's
like
a
people hitting up people
show,
and stealing from them.
yo, and it's hard to believe that these guys are able to. My problem was I fraternized with a lot of these guys way too much. You become comfortable with them. Um, Not just me, my friend who the first one that we know of that in the summer when he got it last summer, he was too close to the people that he was selling coins to. You don't see it coming out. There's a show called Money and Violence on YouTube. Uh, they did it. Some kids did it locally last summer, and it really caught on. It caught some traction. I think they got picked up by somebody, but as it'll give you kind of an insight into the people in Brooklyn who are buying coins for whatever reason. It's mostly younger kids. Um, yeah, that's it.
That's that's pretty crazy, and it's yeah, I hadn't known that it was this prevalent. So I mean, and this is what we were just talking about. So we'll ask you for some opinions, but we're just thinking about the whole idea of once when you've got crypto, irreversible, solid currency, and you're trading it for something physical, or well, especially if you're trading it for like a credit card payment or something, then it's real sketchy. But even if you're trading it for cash, it's when you connect the crypto world to the physical world, there has to be an element of trust. I mean, you have to trust that they'll give you the money, or
They will
that they're
sell
gonna.
you the car.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
Uh,
So
well, there has to be, and you're gonna. I have guys that have been coming since the beginning of this, and I'm comfortable with them. But for myself, and I got to tell you, the other pro traders, that are still left in the city are impressed with what's going on. For myself, I had to reduce it to something else. Now it's, the story is, okay, this is my backstory, in case anybody gives me anything, that because of the demographic of the whole thing that we're dealing with, getting robbed all the time, that 4 or 5 of us have teamed up, and now the only way to get coins out of this system is to meet me at the bank. I'll put the money in the bank. I'll sit there with you for 15 minutes. I'm trying to, I buy coins from Jenna Trust a lot, so I try and have it arranged that I'm not going to be sitting there in that awkward silence too long. 10 or 15 minutes, the order's processed, the coins come. And from that point on, after meeting me, I'm in this for the long haul, and most people have enough faith to just go to the bank after that and just do the deposits. If I have to meet them and hold them their hand, that's fine. But I had to take out of the loop the possibility that I would ever have any cash or coin on me. Even my guys who I know, who I have trust with, if they call me 3 in the morning and they want $300, like it used to be, I would just send it and collect the money. Now I got to stick with the backstory that I don't leave the office with cash or coin.
Yeah.
So therefore, there's no reason to ever abduct me in the future.
Yeah.
Because it was insane. It's terrifying. The whole fucking thing was terrifying.
I mean, what would you advise for people to keep them safe? Would you just say do, like, don't meet people on the street, just do, like, what you're doing? Or I mean,
you can do what you're doing. I'm too lazy to go to Starbucks all the time, man. In the beginning, I did that, but there's way too many people now. I don't want to spend all day at Starbucks. So, and I really thought it was going to be a hard transition because we went from heavy hand-to-hand purchases. It was like Stop and Cop in front of my house for Bitcoin. It was crazy, And I went from that, and I didn't think I would be able to transition into a more organized structure where everybody's protected. Nobody's getting lined up for a robbery. And a lot of hand-holding, a lot of meeting people at the bank, several times sometimes. But they've come to grow. They've grown to love the system because now they don't have to come to Brooklyn to meet me every time, depending on where they are. Brooklyn is kind of immense, and it can be a pain in the ass to get from one end to the other. And for me,
you mean transitioning to using like wall of coins, right? Like just the way that you can get cash deposited.
Well, I'm doing essentially the same thing. Like wall coins facilitates a lot of this for me. You know what I mean? But
Okay.
It's my clientele. So for me, they've enabled me to kind of keep my client base and still successfully serve the people.
Yeah, no, that's really cool, and that's something we were talking about too. Well, how do you, what can you put in place to secure yourself? To protect yourself and avoid this stuff, and the idea of doing transactions, online only is definitely helpful, and when there are services that make that easier, that's great. And also, it's great to have your own clients too, and then from there, I guess, I used to do a lot of trading on the Bitcoin OTC IRC channel, and they have their web of trust, and that's helpful too. It's not perfect just because it's software, and there's going to be good rules in the system and bad rules in the system for the web of trust system. But it's helpful. It's really helpful to have ratings for everybody and to see how many ratings they have, how long they've been rated, and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know if you've ever used that specific IRC channel, or I don't know if you just build relationships personally over time and stuff.
Well, the big relationships, you build that over time, right? Like the guys I buy coins from, these are things that you pay attention to and you nurture, you know what I mean? These are people you're eating from. As far as my clients, started off local Bitcoins. the minute you hit 100 positive feedbacks in local Bitcoins, for me anyway, I never really even looked back. I haven't logged on that site in 6 months, and I still get calls every single day.
Oh man.
But you know, the crooks changed the landscape here for me, because a lot of big sellers. I had some big sellers that I was friends with and also in competition with. They're done. They're burnt out. You know, it takes a certain type of job to stay out here doing this. You go through the list in New York to buy coins with cash. Not too many people are willing to meet you anymore. I turned down a lot of stuff, you know. I just, and I think though another viable mechanism is the BTM, like a Bitcoin dispensing machine, Skyhook, anything like that. Anything where I don't have to deal with hand-to-hand people, where nobody's handing me counterfeit money, because that's another issue over there. And anything where you can't stick a gun in my face is always going to be better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The people who are doing this, that abducted you and have done it to other people, have you talked to other people? Does it seem like it's? Were you saying it was the same people? Is it like a group of kids? Or
yeah, I can guarantee you that it's the same area in Brooklyn that the kids are coming from.
Okay, but it is kids, like 19, 20-year-olds, something like that.
Yeah, I would say. Now, the one kid was probably even younger than that. One kid was maybe 23, the other one 17. But I know for me, yeah, they all come out of the same kind of circle over there. It's, you know, whatever it is. I don't know. I was never really exposed to it before. And don't get me wrong, I've become really good friends with a lot of the people that I've sold coin to. I have people that I hang out with all the time, but the whole community is not like that. But it only takes a couple of those kids to, you know, put the fear in.
Yeah, because you can't trust anyone then.
I grew up upper middle class Jew. What the hell do I know about sticking a gun to somebody's face? So I didn't have time. I didn't see it coming. You know, there was no way for me to see it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Well, yeah, I'm so glad that you could join us. We should get onto some other headlines, but if you have anything else you want to share, you're definitely welcome to.
No,
right,
I'm out. I got some things to take care of.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Hey, thanks again.
Yeah,
this
no
was
problem.
real cool. Thanks for joining us. And good luck and everything. Stay safe.